Betty, I know what I wanna talk about, but I think there's a way into it. I wanna talk about your prayer and practice workshops, but I'm just sort of thinking that this comes through the early days of the Anglican Fellowship of Prayer in Canada, and I'm thinking also that that probably comes out of that conversation that you just told us about with Sister Evangeline. So, I want you to take us on a little tour of the early days of the AFP in Canada.
Wow. Precious days. Well, I was the chair of the Toronto Prayer Committee at this time, and somehow or another we were asked to have a prayer and practice workshop at St. John's, York Mills. And I think there were a couple hundred came to that. And we all were given workbooks. I thought, wonderful, this is really super. Divided into 4 parts, and it was very well put together by Harry Griffiths and his wife Emily, who had particularly trained in this field, because before this he'd been a lawyer with a business in or Florida. Harry was now, because of Helen Shoemaker's putting her finger on him, the director of the International, and he was doing an excellent job, I felt. And I thought, this sounds good. So I went, and somehow or another I sat in the front row. I didn't make any notes because I think my mouth was open the whole time, trying to make sure I got this all in. I thought, it's a good thing this is happening, because I think I was about to leave these things. And anyway, at the end I thought, oh, I didn't make any notes. And maybe we better do this again someplace else, and I'll make notes, you know. So anyway, I asked Harry that, and after a year or so, he did come back, and because I said, if I could, and meanwhile, we were at a conference in Seattle, which happened, and he said, as we crossed a big highway, and then I was standing in the median, Betty, would you consider doing this work across Canada and doing the prayer and practice? Well, I guess I breathed in, but I'm not sure I breathed out very fast. But anyway, I thought, well, that sounds very interesting, and I would really love to be able to do that, so others could enjoy what I have enjoyed through this particular media. So I don't know how many prayer and practices we did, but we sure did a lot of them. Here and there, all over the country.
It strikes me there are a couple of things that I need clarified. One is the role of the Toronto Prayer Committee in all of this. So maybe we could start with that one.
Okay.
Okay, so there you are at square one. Is the Toronto Prayer Committee effectively the founding group of the AFP in Canada, or?
They'd be the first, yes, to have experienced it, yes.
Okay.
And
the thing that struck me as you were talking, this is a long way from spending lots of time on, will the potatoes be roast or boiled or mashed? Anyway, thank you very much for sharing this with us.